Holy smoke, man. That Alex Pereira versus Khalil Rountree fight was way more competitive than anyone expected. I mean, I thought Pereira was gonna put on a striking clinic, but Rountree just came in like, nah, I'm not here to be anyone's highlight reel today. And thank God we got this banger of a fight because let's be honest, this main card was a dud, man, until the end. I was about ready to ask for my refund. This fight single-handedly saved the night from being a total snooze fest. Honestly, the whole main card got a solid C- at best, and that's being generous. Without this fight, it would be a D-. And hey, I gotta be honest here, before this fight, I didn't really view this as a legitimate title defense for Pereira. Like, would it really count if he did win? But then Khalil Rountree showed up, showed that there's levels up, and turned this into a real fight worthy of a champion. Suddenly, it feels like a true legacy moment for Pereira. Rountree looked fantastic, but of course Pereira did what Pereira does best, and that's adapt, survive, and overcome. And let me tell you, before this fight even started, when Bruce Buffer was announcing their names, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of losing it. I'm not kidding. I was getting so nervous. I was so confident that Alex was going to beat Rountree, no question about it. But the moment those two started staring each other down, I was like, oh man, we're about to see a war. And I'm not going to lie, I got a bit nervous because Rountree's power is no joke, and he's definitely showed that in this fight. And let me tell you something, the story of this fight was Khalil taking advantage of Alex's tendencies to back off in straight lines without circling it out. Early on, a lot of Alex's usual tools were in clicking against Khalil, who was applying the pressure and keeping it competitive. But once Alex settled in, he found the jab and those nasty calf kicks. He got comfortable, started closing the range, and eventually took control. Funny enough, that left hook that worked wonders against Jamal Hill wasn't landing the same way here. Khalil's defense was too sharp. Even when Khalil made it tough for Alex to find his rhythm, Alex kept his cool, picked his shots, and used his teeps and his jabs to eventually get the finish. But man, Khalil deserves a ton of respect for how much he made Pereira work for it. I mean, Rountree came out in that first round like a man on a mission. He wasn't messing around with kicks, just going for those blitz, like the Flash. At first, he wasn't really connecting clean with Alex, but every now and then, he would clip him. And you could just feel the power behind those shots. Every time he landed, it was like, oh, here we go again. Rountree was just doing a solid job blocking too, and for a good chunk of that fight, he was straight up neutralizing Alex's left hook. It was wild. Now, you could totally see that Alex was trying to make it an early night. He came out like he didn't even respect Khalil's power at all, charging in like he was ready to clock out and hit the after party. But Khalil was like, nah, bro, not today, and gave him a quick reality check with one solid shot. Suddenly, Alex had no choice but to pump the brakes and show a little respect to Khalil. Round 2 is where things got really interesting. Alex finally started stepping on the gas, landing that jab, throwing that low kick every now and then. But man, it was frustrating watching him consistently go for those head kicks. Like, bro, Khalil's built like a freaking tank, short and stocky, and it became crystal clear after the second head kick miss, he wasn't going to land. I was like, Alex, you're not going to hit him, dude. Stop throwing the head kick. He even threw in that miss completely, and Khalil, like the Flash, ran in and landed a huge right that actually stunned Alex for a split second. Alex, of course, popped back up like nothing happened, but Khalil took advantage of this and landed a few more shots afterwards. Honestly, that right hand and that massive head kick Khalil landed stole the round for him. And credit to Alex, he ate that head kick like it was for breakfast, showing just how rock solid his chin is at this weight class. If this was the middleweight division, we'd be seeing him doing the freaking stanky leg. But at the light heavyweight division, those shots were bombs, and he just stood there. Then we hit round 3, and Alex started turning the tide. Sure, Khalil had some moments, landing a few shots here and there, but he started missing a lot more. Meanwhile, Alex's jab was money, landing non-stop. You could just tell Khalil was starting to slow down, and let's be real, the high elevation in Utah was not doing him any favors. At that point, I'm thinking, alright, Alex has got this. Khalil's body couldn't keep up with the pace, and Alex started picking him apart. front kicks to the body, lead low kicks, and of course that jab. There was one jab that completely stunned Khalil in the third round, and Alex went full on Terminator mode, unloading an uppercut, hooks, body kicks, you name it. He was throwing it all. Khalil was just cooked at that point, man. Straight up roasted. And by the time round 4 hit, Khalil was still hanging in there for a bit, but Alex was just too much. He was out there throwing Street Fighter combos, low, up, down, left, right, just breaking Khalil down piece by piece. Alex kept closing the distance, landing right in his face, and it was so beautiful to watch. This is why we love Alex so much. He's out there putting out shows with these ridiculous combos. I mean, you're never gonna see something like this with a Bilal or a Marab throwing down like this. Alex is one of a kind. And then came the finish. Pure Mortal Kombat mode. Fatality. Alex started ripping the shots to the body and then went back upstairs and bam, TKO victory. It was insane. I know I was kind of like complaining about this fight beforehand, and like I said earlier, I just didn't want to see it at first, but I take it all back. I was just irritated because I wanted to see Alex tested against the top light heavyweights like Ankalaev. Say what you want, but Ankalaev is the real test for Alex. If he can get through him, I don't see anyone beating Alex at the 205 division. But with all that being said, this fight was absolutely incredible and easily one of the best fight of the years. Now, I'm just glad I watched it, and I'm definitely not complaining anymore. Now, as for what's next for both guys, I'm pretty sure this fight was the last fight of the year for Alex. And honestly, I'm hoping it is. I mean, the guy has fought like, 3 times this year. I love the hustle, but let the man rest. I think he even mentioned it earlier today in a post-fight press conference that he's done for the year. Plus, I saw someone mention that he's been dealing with a whole laundry list of issues: antibiotics, visa problems, messed up toe ligaments, rib injuries. I mean, if that's all true, the dude's a freaking beast. But yeah, I don't think we'll see him again probably until February or March, I'm guessing. Now, the real question is, who should Alex fight next? Now, here's where it gets interesting. Alex keeps talking about he wants to fight Dricus at 185, and this is where my frustration comes in. Like, bro, no, you need to fight Magomed Ankalaev, especially if Ankalaev beats Rakic. I have zero interest in seeing Alex go back to 185. He's weaker there. I want to see the best version of Alex, and that's at 205. If him and Dricus want to throw down in a super fight at 205, I'm all in for it, but come on, he should be fighting the top guy in the division, and that's Ankalaev. Ankalaev is the cream of the crop right now. Like, just imagine if Alex actually pulled it off and beat Ankalaev. What are the haters gonna say at this point? Alex would have been the best fighter at 205, and there's no argument left. And as much as I love Alex, if he's not fighting the best, he doesn't deserve to be the champ. But man, I'm a huge fan, and hearing him call out Dricus in the press conference was wild. It's like, dude, focus on the killers in your weight class before chasing 185 again. Now, as for Khalil Rountree, after putting on an absolute clinic, I wouldn't be shocked if we don't see him until mid or late next year. The man's got to heal up after that crazy ass fight. But looking ahead, a fight with Jamal Hill would be absolute fireworks. Hill's a beast, and at first I thought he would steamroll Khalil, but after last night, Rountree proved that he is the real deal. The timing would be perfect too, since Hill is recovering from an injury. By the time both guys are ready, they can deliver a potential fight of the year. But anyways, guys, we just had a badass main event, so those are my thoughts in that entire situation. But what did you guys think of that fight? What do you guys think is gonna happen next for both fighters? And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And like always, guys, I'll see you guys on my next one.